dietitian. Actually, she is working. She is actually doing her PhD in SRMHIER in Chennai, but still, she have a great experience in clinic. Oh, okay, fine. Okay, so yeah, sorry for that, and I would like to welcome to Srijita for introducing Ansa.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, it's very pleasure to be a part of this Diet-O-Pedia. Today I'm here to welcome you all to the another wonderful session of Diet-O-Pedia. Today we got one medical nutritionist, Mrs. Ansa Saju, who is a senior research fellow in Sri Ramachandra Institute of Higher Education and Research in Chennai. She completed her master's in clinical nutrition and PG diploma in sports nutrition, especially in level 2 skin anthropometry. She is working as a sports dietitian for various elite and grassroots level athletes overall the past 5 years. She is also one resource person for theoretical and practical lectures in sports nutrition for the undergraduate and as well as postgraduate courses at Sri Ramachandra Institute of Higher Education and Research. At the same time, she published 3 research papers and presented scientific posters at various national and international conferences. So once again, I welcome you all to the most awaited 20th session, Chayayum, Kurach, Charchayum on sports supplements. Thank you.
Thank you, Srijita. Sri Pramam Fatima, can I go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Okay. So it's a very last minute session. I'm going to proper presentations and it's just going to be a discussion on sports supplements predominantly. But there are some things that I would like to share as like a proper theoretical way, and Baki will be in a discussion. So I'll just share my screen. Is the screen visible?
Yeah, screen is visible, but nothing we can't see on it. Yeah, it's visible. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, all right. So basically, in the topic is on sports supplements, and as Rijita introduced, my name is Ansa, and short now by now a lot of people know me, but I'm a sports nutritionist and also a research scholar, and I'm based in Chennai right now. So to start off with the session, I thought it'll be a mix of theory and a bit of interaction. So the first term that I want to make all of you familiar with is something known as ergogenic aids. So അതിന്റെ proper definition ആയതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ആ quotation അങ്ങനെ തന്നെ എഴുതിയേക്കുന്നത്. But ergogenic aid can be anything that helps to boost your performance, exercise performance, or can reduce the restraints or any kind of ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുകൾ മാറ്റുന്ന പോലെ. So if it is physical, it could be the way that a person's limb length or leg length കാര്യങ്ങൾ മെക്കാനിക്കൽ ആണെങ്കിൽ the way a cycle is shaped or a way a canoe is shaped or അങ്ങനത്തെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ. And nutritional supplements are what we will be dealing in today's session. So അങ്ങനെ പലതരം everything that can help to improve your performance or can reduce the restrictions in that limits your performance, അത് മാറ്റാൻ സഹായിക്കുന്ന സാധനങ്ങളാണ് നമ്മൾ ergogenic aids എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. Whereas dietary supplements are things that are intended to help you supplement the diet and increase the intake of any particular concentrate or metabolite. It could be to supplement your multivitamin supplements. It could be a supplement like your amino acids or a herb that is supposed to meet the gap that is there between the diet that you're consuming and what you're requiring. ഇതിൽ ന്യൂട്രീഷണൽ ഓർഗോജനിക് എയ്ഡ്സ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും they are dietary supplements, but these are things that are not just for meeting your requirements, but these are also to give you an extra boost in your performance. And ഇതിൽ ഏറ്റവും കോമൺ ആയിട്ടുള്ള രണ്ട് കാര്യങ്ങളാണ് സംതിങ് ദാറ്റ്സ് നോൺ ആസ് സ്പോർട്സ് ഫുഡ് ആൻഡ് സ്പോർട്സ് സപ്ലിമെന്റ്സ്. Can anybody tell me what they think is a sports food? സ്പോർട്സ് ഫുഡ് എന്താണെന്ന് ആർക്കെങ്കിലും ഒരു എക്സാമ്പിളോ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ?
അത് സ്പോർട്സ് ചെയ്യാൻ പെട്ടെന്നുള്ള ഒരു എനർജി തരുന്ന ഫുഡാണോ?
ആ, സോ നമുക്കിപ്പോ പെട്ടെന്ന് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു ആവശ്യം വരുവാണെങ്കിലത്തേക്കും എനർജി കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ തരാനുള്ള ഒരു സ്പോർട്സ് ഫുഡ് ആയിട്ട് വരും. അപ്പൊ സ്പോർട്സ് സപ്ലിമെന്റ് എന്താ?
അത് ഫോർ എ ലോങ് ടൈം നമ്മുടെ മസിൽസ് കീപ് ചെയ്യാൻ.
ആർട്ടിഫിഷ്യൽ പ്രോട്ടീൻ, ആർട്ടിഫിഷ്യൽ എനർജി ഡ്രിങ്ക്സ്.
ഓക്കെ, ആർട്ടിഫിഷ്യൽ എനർജി ഡ്രിങ്ക്സ് സ്പോർട്സ് സപ്ലിമെന്റ് എന്നാണോ പറയുന്നത്?
Artificial energy drinks or protein supplements
will be considered as sports supplements.
Yeah.
I'm asking, is that what you're saying? So that you mean that additional energy drinks or additional protein supplements are considered as sports supplements, alle?
Yeah.
Okay, appa what is sports food then?
That's
So what will be an example of
all the balanced nutrients.
Okay, so a proper meal.
Yeah.
Okay, can somebody give me an example, like energy drinks sports protein ഇത് പറഞ്ഞു, ബാലൻസ്ഡ് മീൽ എന്ന് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുമ്പോൾ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സ്പോർട്സ് ഫുഡ് എന്നുള്ളതിന് ഒരു എക്സാമ്പിൾ തരാമോ ആരെങ്കിലും?
Banana to give a carbohydrate loading.
Okay, all right. Okay, so basically sports foods are things that resemble a food item or are resembled or processed in a way that they are a food option. So your things like നമ്മുടെ എന്താ പറയാ എനർജി ബാർസ്, പ്രോട്ടീൻ സപ്ലിമെന്റ്സ്, കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഈ പ്രോട്ടീൻ ബാർസ് ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടല്ലോ. സോ എനിത്തിങ് ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ഇൻ ദ ഫോം ഓഫ് എ ബാർ ഓർ എ ലിക്വിഡ് becomes or is considered as sports food. So they can contribute and give you carbohydrates, proteins, fats. So the macronutrients കുറച്ച് micronutrients you can get it through sports foods. Things like your sports gel എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞ കുറെ സാധനങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട്. സോ ഇപ്പൊ ഈ ന്യൂട്രീഷൻ റൈറ്റ് യോഗ ബാർ എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്ന ബാറുകൾ will be considered as sports foods. Your Gatorade energy drinks or your fasten up and reload എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്നത് which are electrolyte replenishment, they're considered as sports foods. Sports supplements are things that will be in the forms of powders, capsules. So things like if somebody is taking a caffeine powder, that becomes a supplement. If they are taking a protein powder, that becomes a supplement. But protein bar is considered as a sports food. So I hope that is clear. So anything that is constituted and made in a way that it resembles a food is considered as a sports food, and otherwise it is considered as a sports supplement. But nonetheless, whenever any diet plan has to be made, sports supplements should be getting the least importance unless and until you're having a balanced diet and your sports nutrition intake, that is various concepts like what you give for pre-workout, what you give for post-workout, other balance avade nammal inda supplements koduthalum it will be of no use. So balanced food is the basis of even sports nutrition, and then we add on certain sports nutrition concepts. Like in the case of diabetes, we would probably restrict the amount of carbohydrates, or we might tell them about low glycemic index or high glycemic index. So similarly, there are other concepts in sports nutrition that we will introduce here, and after that is also set is when we start introducing supplements. But recently, in the month of April and May, and even in Jan, so basically from the year beginning, there has been a lot of news reports where it has been saying that there's a lot of increase in the usage of sports supplements or dietary supplements, and a lot of them have been found to be not nutritious. So the label might be having something, but the contents might not be the same. So let's say, for example, if a dabba says that it will give you 10 grams of protein, maybe the supplement might give you only 5 grams, or maybe it will say that it doesn't have any additional stimulants, and it might actually have coffee, which is also like caffeine, which is also a stimulant. So a lot of misleading labels have been there, and a lot of misleading standards have been set for these supplements. So supplements for sports are encouraged to meet the nutritional needs after you meet the whole food requirements and the fluid first approach. So and a person has to be assessed for their supplements, and then based on their overall diet, medical history, stage of growth, development, and athlete's sport or event only, we decide what kind of supplements are great for person. So it's just some statistics that was published in 2015, where 40 to 70% of the athletes are using supplements, of which 10 to 15% contain prohibited substances, and 80% did not have what the label said, and a large percentage did not have any evidence. So a lot of things like this glutamine supplements that a lot of gym people or gym trainers give doesn't really have much of a evidence for when you give it to a athlete or somebody who is in a fitness training. So when we talk about supplements, I cannot go forward without mentioning supplement safety. So if at all any of you are suggesting a supplement to anybody else, it's very important to make sure that you go through the label of the supplement, and also you teach the athlete or the consumer or the receiver or the client of how they are supposed to read the label. So it's very important to go through and make sure what the nutritional facts are, the serving sizes. Sometimes the serving size might be let's say 1 cup, and if the dabba gives you protein, the 1 cup might be 20 grams, okay, or the one serve is 20 grams, but the nutrition values will be in 100 grams. So in 100 grams, if you see that you get 25 grams of protein or 30 grams of protein, you might think, okay, it's not bad. Or if there is 50 grams, you might think it's not bad. But when you convert it back to that one serve a scoop, so the amount of protein or the amount of nutrient will be very less. So this has to be given importance to when we are giving or suggesting something to the athletes. But mostly there is a checklist that I follow. Supplement is safe. So safety in the sense whether based on the growth, the conditions, and what the sports are, and also the components that is there in the supplement, whether that is safe for consumption, if it is legal. So when I mention legal here, what I mean is if it goes against the code of anti-doping regulations, which is set by the National Anti-Doping Authority or the World Anti-Doping Authority. And then the next question is it batch tested? So batch tested basically just means when a supplement company produces a supplement, out of one batch, they take one dabba and then they send it out to a third party agent, and then they test it out for whether any kind of information misleading is there, or if the product has any unwanted agents. So the pictures or the logos that you're seeing down of NSF, Inform Sport, Inform Choice, HASTA, they are all third party agencies which certifies majority of the supplements that is there available in the Indian market. So one thing I want to reiterate here is FSSAI does not certify if a supplement is safe or legal, or if it is anti-doping free. FSSAI is only concerned with if that particular supplement is safe for consumption. So safe for consumption is different from when we are trying to see for athletes. For them, it also has to be legal with respect to the doping rules. And even if a supplement is safe, even if it is legal, even if it is batch tested, will it work for me or will it work for that particular athlete is totally different. So the way an athlete's body respond to certain nutrients is totally different from somebody else's. One major example that I can give is caffeine is a very potent stimulant which is shown to improve performance. But caffeine also have slow responders and fast responders, which basically means either your body metabolizes it very slowly, that the peak that you need for performance happens at a later point, or you're a fast metabolizer, which means that your body metabolizes caffeine too soon, that before the time that you intend to have the action, it is already excreted from the body or being removed from the body. So that is also something that has to be checked when it comes to these supplements. So the major supplement of interest right now is protein supplements. So I just want to give example of 4 supplements. One is whey protein. This is the most common supplement that's available in the market worldwide. And it's very common because it's rapidly absorbed and digested. It's of the highest quality and has all the essential amino acids. It basically helps to improve your muscle protein synthesis and decrease muscle soreness. So, people who go to the gym initially when they start training, they train a lot and they have muscle soreness. So, having whey protein will actually help. This is safe in recommended dosages, but it should be avoided for people who have milk allergies or intestinal disorders or sensitivity. Casein is the other protein that you get from milk. Now, this is a slow releasing protein. It helps for better nitrogen retention in the body, but this is not very useful when, let's say, for example, somebody wants immediate gains. It doesn't have any known adverse effects and it is anti-catabolic. So, if somebody wants to go on a maintenance, casein can be something that's opted, or they could just have a glass of milk because it has both of it. But we need to know that the amount of protein that you get from a supplement scoop is much higher than what you would get from a glass of milk also. For vegan options, we have soy protein. It is also a really good choice of protein, and it is a preferred choice by vegans also. This also can actually help with increasing your muscle mass, but should be avoided if an individual has any particular allergies. Another common and famous plant protein or a vegan protein that is available nowadays in the market is pea protein. So even that has good essential amino acids and can help with the muscle protein synthesis. And it doesn't show much of a negative impact, except for that initially when somebody takes it in large quantities, they might have bloating, or if they're having a sensitive stomach, then it might not be advisable. Egg or albumin is something that's very commonly used and incorporated in the therapeutic preparations. It is also very anabolic in nature and doesn't have any adverse effects. So people could have as whole food or they could have as supplemental options. But these are the 4 main options that is more common in India right now. And there are more research on various other supplements. Now, I would actually like to stop the session with this, and I want to know what are the queries or anything that you want to know with regards to any kind of sports supplements so that we can have a discussion on this topic.
Ansa, hi, good evening. Manju here. Very nice
Hi, ma'am.
presentation, short and crisp. I have 2 queries.
Yes, ma'am.
Pea protein, is it modified? Yeah, modified with essential amino acid. One will be missing in pulse protein. So is that getting added to pea protein? Number 2, egg albumin, is it in the powder form it is being provided, or as a whole egg we know, but is when they take albumin powder, is that considered to be adding with the protein intake?
Okay, so the first question with regards to the pea protein, what they're doing is they're doing other additions to make sure that the amino acid profile is being managed. So there is a very a good brand that is available here in Chennai. I've been trying out a couple of their products and it's actually been helpful. So pea protein also what they do is they add other complementary protein options to it to enhance the amino acid profile that is there. And second is I actually meant egg albumin. In sports arena, people don't usually take it as albumin powder or albumin supplements. It's egg is what is used to increase their protein content.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hi, Ansa. Uma here.
Hi, ma'am.
Yeah. Actually, my question is maybe 18 or 19-year-old teenager who has recently started going to gym. So, would you recommend that boy to take a supplement, whey protein kind of thing, in addition to a balanced diet, or a well-balanced diet would be enough to manage?
Okay,
Just
so
1 hour of workout, just general workout.
okay. So, with respect to a general public or somebody who is just going to the gym just for, let's say, a body composition modification and not for any kind of muscle building, like to the sense that they want to compete in a bodybuilding competition, I would say a balanced diet is more than enough. especially if that person is a non-vegetarian and can have any kind of chicken, mutton, fish, or anything of that sort, at least on a daily basis. So otherwise, a balanced diet is absolutely fine. If the person is following something more strictly vegetarian, I would say to make sure that there is proper complementation of the supplements, or sorry, the protein intake through food. But if there is somebody who is on a vegan diet, then we might look into any kind of supplements. But otherwise, for somebody who is going to the gym 1 hour for just a recreational purpose or just to maintain their fitness levels, I wouldn't recommend any additional supplements, be it protein or anything else.
All right, I got you. So, for example, if they are going little more strenuous, maybe say 1.5 hours in a day for weekly 4 to 5 days. So, is that good time to start with the supplements, whey protein, say 2 scoops, or maybe I think 1 scoop is 25 grams, right? Yeah, maybe half
So
then. Yeah.
proteins will have 20 to 30 grams of protein. So it also depends. Now, let's say, for example, since I stay in the hostel, it's easier for me to have a protein supplement than to have to cook something and then eat. But at the same time, my husband, what he's doing is he's just getting what his mom is eating. Making food. But otherwise, there is nothing wrong in taking a protein supplement. But just something that people need to notice is, let's say, for example, if they stop taking the protein or if they stop going to the gym, their muscle mass will not remain the same. So they will have to continue doing both to make sure that they maintain their muscle mass. But if the 18-year-old has to travel back or doesn't have his next meal for another 3 hours or maybe 2 hours, at that point, he can definitely take a supplement. And I wouldn't recommend more than, let's say, 20 to 25 grams of protein for such a person, because your body also doesn't metabolize anything further. It'll just increase your protein oxidation in the body. So I would say something around 20 to 25 grams should be okay, considering they are not able to meet their overall nutrient requirements. And for 1.5 hours of training, especially in the initial stages, they will benefit with the protein, like the extra added protein. But once, let's say, for example, they have been training for 6 months or 7 months and they have been regular, at that point, they can even reduce the protein supplement dosages if they need, because your body gets used to it. But by then, if the muscle mass increases, then accordingly we need to see.
Okay. For last question. So, in case if they are like taking either balanced meal or a supplement, what is the ideal duration after the workout? Is it within half an hour or 1 hour? Which is the best
Okay.
one?
So initially, it was considered that the optimum timing was within the first hour, and then there was research from I'm not sure whether if it was Professor Stuart Phillips or if it was from Professor Kevin Tipton's lab, but the research said that whether you have the food at 1 hour or whether you have it at 3 hours, the result is the same. But we need to make sure that at least within the 3 hours is not finishing. Like, so basically from 0 to 3 hours is the time that you need to make sure that you are taking in the protein. And then you have to make sure that for the next 24 hours also your protein intake is good. So it's not like, let's say, for example, finishing the workout, you take a protein and next day morning you fast and then lunch you have just maybe rice and some vegetables. So then your protein levels go down. So immediately within the first 3 hours, they take in some protein. And then next day also, like, and then for the next 24 hours also, they need to make sure that they're meeting the protein requirements in split meals.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ansa.
Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. So we have got a question in the chat post that there is any specific sport supplement for pediatric.
Okay, so there is no specific. Actually, no, there is. There is a sports supplement that is being manufactured based out of in Pune. I'll just check the name of the supplement and I can get back to you on that. So there are two supplements, actually three. One is not a sports supplement exactly, but Acumax Kid is something that I suggest if at all there is a child athlete, or if the athlete requires more amount of protein, there are 2-3 brands. Like for example, one is something known as Origin Protein, which is based out in Chennai. They are vegan protein options. And then there is another brand in Pune. Once I figure out the name, it's there somewhere in my contacts, but if I find that out, I can let you know.
Okay, thank you. We have got another question. How much is the maximum protein in gram we can provide in single serve?
Okay, so that absolutely depends. So let's say, for example, for an older person or an older athlete, you would require a higher percentage. For a younger person, it can be lower. But per meal, so this basically is a per meal dosage that she is asking. So per meal, I would say somewhere around 0.2 to 0.4, and 0.4 is for a elderly. So for a regular young person, anywhere between 0.2 to 0.3 grams should be enough, because beyond this, the body doesn't give much of a protein peak or a muscle protein peak that is there. So if we were to take somebody of a 60 kg body weight, a 0.2 basically means 12 grams, whereas a 0.3 means 18 grams. So anywhere between that should be fine. So again, the calculations are based on the body mass only, but somewhere between 0.2 to 0.3 for a younger person and up to 0.4 for an elder person.
Okay, so we have one more question, and I have a same doubt that actually നമ്മൾ ഒരുപാട് സപ്ലിമെന്റ്സിന്റെ പേര് കാണുന്നു. ബ്രാഞ്ചഡ് ചെയിൻ അമിനോ ആസിഡ്സ് അടങ്ങിയിട്ടില്ല, ക്രിയാറ്റിൻ അടങ്ങിയിട്ടില്ല. സോ വാട്ട്സ് ദ ഡിഫറൻസ് ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ദാറ്റ് സപ്ലിമെന്റ് according to our normal supplement?
Once, Laila. So you're talking about what is the difference?
Actually, maybe I'm wrong that normal supplement അപേക്ഷിച്ച് നമ്മുടെ അത്ലറ്റ്സിന് കൊടുക്കുന്ന സപ്ലിമെന്റ്സിൽ ലൈക്ക് ബ്രാഞ്ചഡ് ചെയിൻ അമിനോ ആസിഡ്സ്, ക്രിയാറ്റിൻ അടങ്ങിയിട്ടില്ല എന്നൊക്കെ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. So do you have any idea about that?
Yeah, so first of all, to answer if it is safe to take creatine, yes, it is safe as long as you do not have any pre-existing liver or kidney conditions. So as long as you don't have any pre-existing liver or kidney diseases, you can absolutely go ahead and take creatine. Creatine is more beneficial for people who are vegetarian and don't eat any kind of muscle mass or muscle meat. So things like chicken, fish, mutton. If you don't eat anything that's muscle in nature, you might not get as such creatine from your food sources. Like you will get the amino acids required and then your body has to make them. But it will be more beneficial for such people, or it will be also beneficial for people who are trying to increase their muscle mass. So that is with regards to creatine supplement. Now, with regards to the question of branch chain amino acids and creatine versus the regular supplements, that maybe I could say sports supplements versus the clinical supplements. It's been 4 years since I was into clinical. I don't know if the current clinical supplements give you any kind, if they add any kind of branch chain amino acids in them, or if they add creatine in them. But the reason why we add these supplements in sports supplements is because branch chain amino acid leucine എന്ന് പറയുന്ന അമിനോ ആസിഡിനാണ് ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻസ്. സോ ദി അതർ branch chain amino acids are not that important. But nowadays branch chain amino acidന് അത്ര ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻസ് കൊടുക്കാണ്ട് leucine ആണ് കൂടുതൽ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻസ്, because that basically acts as a cement for making sure muscle protein synthesis happen. So എല്ലാ ബ്ലോക്സ് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാലും leucine ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് properly cement ചെയ്ത് finish ആവുള്ളൂ. Okay, so അതുകൊണ്ട് leucine is very important, and that's why leucine is added in a lot of supplements. And then creatine, again, like how I mentioned, creatine is added in a lot of supplements, not just because it helps you with muscle protein synthesis, but also creatine helps in so creatine is converts and gets to be a part of your ATP PCR. And for athletes who are doing ATP PCR, namada phosphocreatine systemlekku convert out. So for any kind of anaerobic energy, you need the ATP PCR. Aduvondana creatine is added in a lot of supplements for sports people.
Okay,
I
thank you
hope
so
that
much.
clears.
We have some more questions. Could you please suggest nutritionist we can follow for knowing valid information on healthy nutrition in social media? Actually, this.
I don't know if
Okay.
so. Yeah. No, basically, if you know any kind of so basically, whether even when you try to follow anybody, please make sure that they are somebody who has proper certifications. And when I say certification, I don't mean 2 month, 3 month certification. So if you wanted somebody to give a talk on renal nutrition, you won't call somebody who just did a 3 month this thing. You will actually look for a clinical nutritionist or anybody. So based on whatever is your area of interest, whatever is the thing that you want to learn, I would say look out for them, and then accordingly, because there are a lot of certifications when it comes to sports nutrition. So, but not, I wouldn't say if they will be very valid or not if it is for sports nutrition. But if it is for other general nutrition, the entire CNF team has a lot of nutritionists who have so much of experience. Like I basically have 6 years of experience, but yes, all the 6 years it's been predominantly in sports nutrition, and and before that 3 years I had in clinical nutrition, but that's about it. Paksha, there are people who have been experienced for more than that. So I would say look into our own group itself, and then you can probably find somebody.
Yes. Actually, I just want to add that don't follow for we can't generalize. Don't follow for social media influences, but still,
Yeah.
do update yourself to reading scientific papers.
True.
Yeah,
Yes, that's. I think
and
that's the best advice.
and yeah, one more questions we need to answer. The sports drinks or anything like food to get rid of fatigue do quickly during workup. I think we already answered somewhat that question, but please answer.
Yeah. So sports drinks or anything like that to get rid of fatigue. Okay, during workout. So basically, what happens is the reason why you have fatigue is either because your muscles use up the glycogen that is there in your muscles, or because you were dehydrated. So, first thing, anybody who's going for a workout, before they go for the workout, they need to make sure that they are properly hydrated. After hydrating themselves, then they go to the workout. During the workout, see if you're sweating a lot. If you're sweating a lot, it's not just plain water that you need to have. You need to have something that has electrolytes in it. So it could even be just naranga vallam with uppu and pandasara, or you can absolutely go with, like, if it is absolutely economical for you, you can go and get any kind of electrolyte replenishments like an ORS, which is more economical than your fasten up reload options. So that is with regards to hydration. Next thing, the other cause, like I said, is carbohydrates. So if you're already going in for your workout without much carbohydrates stored in your muscles after you have been fasting for so a long period, or if you're on a low carbohydrate diet, then I would say have a carbohydrate rich diet or a snack just before, at least before you go for the workout, and that should also help you. So that'll be my recommendation. So it's not just if you have something during the workout that will help you feel better. You need to be careful, or you need to be conscious about what you do before, during, and after.
Which protein source is more safer, animal protein or vegan protein? Which one increases the creatine level in blood?
Okay, so I would basically say that food sources, if you are taking any of this from a food source, let's say, for example, if you're having chicken or fish, or if you are having soy, everything is the same, everything is safe. But what would increase creatine level in your body is animal protein. Animal protein is what will help to increase the creatine stores in your body. But if you are asking about a supplement that comes in a dabba, I would say you will have to actually check to see if the ingredients are natural, if the ingredients have been tested, if the supplement has a third party testing. And sometimes they might even just write WADA. What was it? WADA assured or WADA approved. WADA is World Anti-Doping Authority or agency, and they do not approve, or they do not check in to see if a supplement is good. So if something like that is written, then don't go for it. And if any supplement has claims like if you take this supplement, you will have 10 times more muscle mass and all that stuff, then don't go for it.
Okay, so I have a question that you already mentioned sports supplement as egg, right? So normally ഒരു പേഴ്സൺസിന് നല്ല ദിസ് സ്പോർട്സ് പ്രോട്ടീൻ പൗഡേഴ്സ് ആർ ബിറ്റ് എക്സ്പെൻസീവ് സോ നോർമൽ ഒരു പേഴ്സണ് ചിലപ്പോൾ അത് അഫോർഡബിൾ ആയിരിക്കില്ല സോ ഹൗ മച്ച് എഗ് ഈസ് സേഫ് ഇൻ എ ഡേ
See, that again depends on, it's not just the egg. See, it depends on what is the person's overall diet. Is that person a vegetarian? If that person is a vegetarian, does he take eggs and does he take milk is one question that you have to ask. Next thing is, if that person is a non-vegetarian, how often do they eat chicken, fish, mutton, or any other kind of meat that they usually take? After you see that, first of all, what we do is we try to balance a diet. And before we balance a diet, if the question is only with regards to the egg intake, we try to make sure that their cholesterol levels or their lipid profile is normal or at least borderline normal. If it is not, then we will have to manage every kind of protein, animal source of protein that we have to give. So I would always go for an approach where clinical first or health first and then fitness. So we need to make sure that whatever diet or whatever things we plan it in such a way that we don't hamper anybody's health just because we want to meet the protein requirements and all. First fix what is the root causes. If they have liver issues, kidney issues, the body is not going to metabolize or excrete or utilize this protein that you're giving. So we address that first and then we get on to the amount of protein that is needed. There are people who absolutely can metabolize 7, 8, 9, 10 eggs and all that. But is it needed or not is the question. So it has to be a balanced approach.
Okay, so one more question. What are the toxic ingredients to look for in a supplement? Yeah, that's a very important question.
Yeah. So with regards to toxic substances or banned substances, what you have to keep an eye out for is anything that sounds like a steroid. So anything like an androgen steroid or DHEA, these are all substances that you have to make sure that you are not consuming or you are not taking. So steroids and stimulants are the things that you have to keep an eye out for. And WADA basically has this whole list, which is somewhere around 23 pages, which has a lot of these chemicals, which looks like a chemistry textbook. So if you are able to go through that, then those are all the anti-doping agents that you have to make sure you're not taking in your supplements. So it's a long list. I can share in the group, no problem.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ansa. It was a very beautiful session and you explained it very clearly. So I think we don't have any more questions. And before that, So before that, I would like to welcome Mridula for giving vote of thanks.
ഹായ്, ഇന്നത്തെ ഈ ഡയറ്റോപീഡിയയിൽ നന്ദി പറയുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് എൻ്റെ ഒരു ഡ്യൂട്ടി. സോ വളരെ ഇൻഫോർമേറ്റീവ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു സെഷൻ കൈകാര്യം ചെയ്ത അൻസ മാമിനോടുള്ള നന്ദി ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ അറിയിക്കുകയാണ്. അതുപോലെ ആക്ച്വലി നമ്മൾ പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്തത് പ്രകാരം ഇന്ന് ജ്യോതി മാമിൻ്റെ ആയിരുന്നു ക്ലാസ് വേണ്ടിയിരുന്നത്. ചില വ്യക്തിപരമായ കാരണങ്ങളാൽ സാധിച്ചില്ല. സോ വളരെ പെട്ടെന്ന് തന്നെ അതെല്ലാം ശരിയായി വരട്ടെ എന്ന് ആശംസിക്കുകയാണ്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ലാസ്റ്റ് മിനിറ്റ് മറ്റൊരു ടോപ്പിക്കുമായിട്ട് പെട്ടെന്ന് തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ ഡയറ്റോപീഡിയ പറ്റിയ അൻസ മാമിനോടുള്ള നന്ദി ഒന്നുകൂടി അറിയിക്കുകയാണ്. അതുപോലെ ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ ചെയ്ത ശ്രീജിത്ത, ഫാത്തിമ ഇവർക്കുള്ള നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുന്നു. അതുപോലെ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ന്യൂട്രീഷൻ ഫോറം അതിനുള്ള നന്ദി പ്രത്യേകമായി അറിയിക്കണം. അതിന്റെ ഫൗണ്ട് മെമ്പേഴ്സിനോടും ഡയറ്റോപീഡിയയുടെ ഓർഗനൈസിംഗ് ടീമിനോടൊക്കെയുള്ള നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുകയാണ്. അതുപോലെ ഇന്നത്തെ ഈ പ്രോഗ്രാമിൽ പങ്കെടുത്ത എല്ലാവർക്കുമുള്ള നന്ദി എൻ്റെ പേരിലും CNFന്റെ പേരിലുമുള്ള നന്ദി അറിയിച്ചുകൊള്ളുന്നു. താങ്ക് യു.
So before ending that, I would like to remind you that we have a section of Meraki on coming 21st by Dr. Anish. He is actually professor in community medicine in Medical College of Manjeri. And he's taking his section on how to write scientific paper from nutritional point of view. So, okay, guys, we will wait for that and we'll see you on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And please share your valuable feedback in chat box and also in the CNF group.
Thank you, ma'am.
താങ്ക് യു അൻസ. ഞാനൊരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ ഇട്ടായിരുന്നു.
എന്റെ വോയിസ് ക്ലിയർ ആണോന്ന് അറിയില്ല, എന്റെ വോയിസ് ശരിയാവുന്നില്ല, അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഞാൻ ഇതിൽ പറയാത്തത്. അതായത് 3 ബ്ലെൻഡ് പ്രോട്ടീൻ ആണ് നമുക്ക് കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ജിമ്മിന് നല്ലത്.